Welcome to the channel. Hey everyone, if you've ever found yourself wondering how time seems to slip through your hands, this video is for you. Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating and profound themes that shapes our lives, time. But hold on, we're not just talking about it as a simple ticking clock, but as a true source of wisdom, something that can transform how you live, know yourself, and grow. So if you want to learn to use time as a tool to master your own journey, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications, because this conversation promises to change your perspective. Let's get started. Stoic philosophy teaches us to value time. Time is a precious asset, and its passage offers us unique opportunities. Seneca said, "Life is long enough, and a well-used life is sufficient." This statement reminds us that it's not the amount of time we have, but the quality with which we use it. Stoic wisdom invites us to reflect on how we are investing our time. Our perception of time changes throughout life. When we're children, days seem endless, but as we age, time seems to pass faster. This shift leads us to reflect on how we are living. Are we making the most of each moment? Are we learning from the experiences that time provides? Stoic philosophy encourages us to live in the present, to appreciate each instant, because time never returns. Time is a great teacher. It teaches us about resilience, patience, and the importance of accepting change. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoics, reminds us that what is not good for the hive is not good for the bee. So, throughout life, we learn that our experiences, both good and bad, shape who we are. Time helps us understand that every challenge faced is an opportunity for growth. This brings us to a crucial question. How are you using your time now? Most of us are constantly rushing from one task to the next, anxious about what's next, without even noticing that the present is slipping through our fingers. It's as if we're always waiting for something, whether it's the end of the day, the weekend, or even the end of the year, but we forget to live in the here and now. The Stoics remind us that the present is all we truly have. The past is gone, the future is uncertain. Therefore, it's up to us to make the present our best moment. If we stop to think, time is the most valuable resource we have, and yet it's the one we waste the most. How many times have you found yourself saying, "I wish I had more time," or "I don't have time for this"? But do we really lack time, or are we simply prioritizing the wrong things? Stoics like Seneca warn us about the danger of a wasted life. He said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. And this is a truth that hurts, but it also frees us." The key to living fully, according to Stoicism, is learning to value the present and act with intention. Instead of worrying about what can't be controlled, the past that is gone and the future that hasn't arrived, we should focus our efforts on what is in front of us. Stoicism isn't about denying the challenges or difficulties we face, but about facing them with courage and acceptance. Every moment, good or bad, has its value, and it's up to us to decide how we'll react to it. By embracing Stoic philosophy, we begin to see time as an ally, not an enemy. The present moment ceases to be just a step toward achieving something in the future and becomes the main focus. Have you ever asked yourself how often you are truly present in the things you do? How many times do you disconnect from the now, letting yourself be carried away by distractions? Stoicism teaches us that true wisdom lies in fully living the present, because it's the only thing over which we have any control. The past is out of our reach, and the future is merely an uncertain promise. Now reflect. What can you do right now to value the time you have? Perhaps it's disconnecting a bit from social media. Maybe it's spending more time with the people you love, or simply pausing to appreciate the silence around you. No matter what it is, Stoic philosophy teaches us that every small action can have a profound impact on our well-being, as long as it's done with awareness and purpose. Acceptance is one of the keys to Stoic wisdom. Time presents us with situations we cannot control. Stoic philosophy teaches us to accept what we cannot change and to focus on what we can control, our reactions and attitudes. This acceptance is liberating and allows us to live more fully. By accepting the passage of time and its uncertainties, we find inner peace and clarity. And if you could actually stop fighting against what is outside of your control, think about it for a moment. How much energy do you spend trying to change things beyond your reach? Traffic, others' opinions, others' behavior, all these things are outside our domain, and yet they frustrate us, make us anxious. Stoicism offers an escape, acceptance, not passive acceptance, but a wise acceptance that allows us to focus on what truly matters, the way we choose to respond to circumstances, because in the end, it is our reaction that shapes our life experience. The beauty of Stoic acceptance lies in the fact that it is not synonymous with giving up or conformity. On the contrary, it is a powerful tool for living with more presence and intention. Imagine the freedom of breaking free from the need to control the uncontrollable. When we accept that time will bring challenges, losses, and changes, we can direct our energies toward what truly matters, how we will behave in the face of these situations. This gives us back the power over our lives, because instead of being victims of circumstances, we become the protagonists of our own stories. By practicing this acceptance, we begin to see difficulties not as insurmountable obstacles, but as opportunities for growth. The Stoics teach us to view each problem as a disguised lesson, a chance to develop our resilience, our patience, and our wisdom. We don't control what happens, but we control the narrative we create around what happens. This is the true power of Stoic acceptance, the ability to transform adversities into fuel for our own personal development. And what happens when we truly accept that time is beyond our control? We gain clarity. By freeing ourselves from worries about an uncertain future, we begin to live with more lightness and inner peace. After all, much of our anxiety comes from the desire to predict and control the future, but by adopting the Stoic perspective, we understand that the future is a natural consequence of our present actions. So by focusing on doing our best now, we let the future unfold as it should, without the weight of expectations beyond our control. Acceptance also allows us to find beauty in the imperfections of life. Things will not always happen as we imagine, but that's okay. There's something profoundly freeing about embracing uncertainty. When we stop fighting against the current, we discover serenity, and it's this serenity that puts us in harmony with time, allowing us to live with more awareness, balance, and above all, gratitude for each moment, just as it is. Time is also an opportunity for reflection. The practice of introspection is essential in Stoic philosophy. Take some time to think about your actions, your choices, and the impact they have on your life. Ask yourself, what have I learned from past experiences? How can I use this knowledge to improve my future? Reflection helps us know ourselves better and live more consciously. Now imagine if you had a daily habit that completely changed the way you live your life. Something simple but profoundly powerful. The practice of reflection. The Stoics knew that without a pause for introspection, we risk living on autopilot, repeating mistakes, wasting time, without understanding the true impact of our choices. And this is where reflection comes in, one of the most transformative pillars of this philosophy. Stopping and looking inward is not just a pause, it's a course adjustment. A moment to evaluate what's working, what needs to change, and most importantly, how you can become a better version of yourself. And this practice doesn't need to be complex or time-consuming. It can begin with simple questions. What did I learn today? How did my choices today bring me closer to or further from my goals? This is the essence of Stoic wisdom, using time as an ally to grow, evolve, and make more conscious decisions. When we take time to reflect on our actions, we realize that each day brings a new chance to learn. Each mistake, each obstacle, is an opportunity for growth. Instead of clinging to failures, Stoicism teaches us to see the learning within each experience. And what if we think of impermanence as a tool to live with more intensity? Often we find ourselves living as if we had all the time in the world, putting off decisions, delaying dreams, believing that opportunities will repeat themselves. But time doesn't stop. The truth is, every moment that passes is unique, unrepeatable. Stoic philosophy teaches us to embrace this transience with courage and wisdom. Instead of fearing change, we should see it as an ally that reminds us of the invaluable nature of the present. Nothing remains the same, and that's exactly what makes life so precious. If you knew that an experience, a conversation, or even a sunset was the last time you'd witness it, how would you perceive it? How would you act? The Stoics invite us to live each moment with this awareness. It's about being truly present in our interactions, our decisions, and the small pleasures of everyday life. It's not about living in haste, but with purpose. Impermanence doesn't have to be a source of fear, but of freedom. When we accept that everything is in constant flux, we learn not to cling to what was, nor worry excessively about what will be. Impermanence also brings with it a lightness. By understanding that nothing is fixed, that neither joys nor hardships will last forever, we're able to flow more naturally through life. When we go through difficult times, this wisdom gives us strength, knowing that, like all things, this suffering will also pass. And in moments of happiness, we are reminded to cherish them deeply, for they are fleeting. By living with this awareness, we create a life that is truly lived, not just endured. Seneca was right when he said that we should seize the present while we have it. But this simple idea can change our entire perspective. We cannot control time, but we can control how we use it. How many times have you left something for later, believing you'd have another chance? And how many of those opportunities, in truth, never came back? Stoic philosophy warns us about this trap. The future is uncertain, and the past is no longer within our reach. What we have is the now, and what we do with this now defines the quality of our existence. By embracing impermanence, we also free ourselves from the weight of attachment. It's not wrong to have dreams, desires, and aspirations, but when we cling rigidly to them, we risk losing sight of the reality of the present moment. Stoic wisdom teaches us that it's possible to desire, to work for our goals, but at the same time, to be at peace with uncertainty. The beauty of life lies precisely in its unpredictability. Acceptance of transience helps us find peace amidst chaos, to maintain serenity even when everything around us is in constant transformation. Because in the end, it is this awareness that leads us to live with more intensity and purpose. Time is also crucial when it comes to relationships. Love blossoms with time, and the experiences shared between friends and family become treasured memories. Stoic philosophy teaches us that cultivating meaningful relationships is a way to use our time wisely. Remember to dedicate time to the people you love, for the connections we make are what truly matter. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that souls connect in time, and those who share experiences are eternally linked. And when we speak of relationships, time plays an even deeper role than we imagine. How many times have we failed to value the moments we spend with those we love, believing that there will always be another day, another chance? But like everything in life, relationships are also impermanent. People come and go, and even those dearest to us won't be with us forever. Stoic philosophy teaches us to look at these connections with a serene sense of urgency, that by investing time and attention in our relationships now, we are cultivating what is most valuable in life: human bonds. These bonds are like the thread that weaves the fabric of our existence. It's easy to get lost in daily demands and put off that coffee with a friend or that call to a family member. But Stoicism reminds us of the importance of living intentionally and not underestimating the power of small gestures. When we dedicate time to someone, we are saying, "You are important to me. Your place in my life has value." And these exchanges, as simple as they may seem, are what make up the memories we carry throughout life. They help us find meaning in our journey. Marcus Aurelius, with his wisdom, reminds us that souls connect over time, and these connections do not disappear, even if circumstances change or people follow different paths. When we share experiences with someone, we leave a mutual mark that endures. Therefore, by cultivating meaningful relationships, we are investing in something that transcends time. Perhaps that's why, when we recall special moments with friends or family, we feel as if we are reliving those moments. They are not just in the past, they remain alive within us, shaping who we are. So, make time with those you love a priority. Often we are so focused on our own goals, our own concerns, that we end up neglecting the importance of these connections. And yet, they are what give us strength in the toughest moments and make happy moments even more complete. The time you dedicate to the people who matter is not time wasted. On the contrary, it is the most valuable investment you can make, because in the end, that's what truly matters. And at the end of the day, when you look back, it won't be the deadlines, the emails, or the work commitments that remain in your memory. It will be the shared laughs, the tight hugs, and the deep conversations that will truly matter. Stoicism teaches us to value these moments now, while we have them, without letting the fast pace of life make us forget what is essential. Because in the end, the true purpose of time is to remind us to live fully, both in our own journey and in the journeys we share with others. Procrastination is a challenge we all face at some point. Time is a scarce resource, and every passing minute is a minute we can never get back. Stoic philosophy encourages us to act with purpose and make conscious decisions about how we spend our time. Think about how you can turn procrastination into action. What can you do today that will make a difference in your future? Time waits for no one, and the best time to start is now. Procrastination is like a shadow that follows our steps, always present, waiting for the right moment to distract us. But does that right moment ever actually arrive? Time, by its nature, does not stop, and each second we hesitate is a second we will never get back. Procrastination is a dangerous illusion that makes us believe we have all the time in the world. But as Seneca warns us, tomorrow does not belong to us. Stoic philosophy challenges us to break this cycle, to face procrastination head-on, and to transform it into action. The question we must ask ourselves is simple yet powerful. If not now, when? And this is a profound reflection. How many projects, dreams, and goals have been left for later, waiting for the perfect moment that may never come? Procrastination often stems from a fear of failure or discomfort with the unknown, but Stoicism teaches us that action is the key to conquering fear. By taking the first step, however small, we begin to build a future more aligned with our values and aspirations. Remember, the time you have is limited, and the best way to honor it is to act with intention, without waiting for ideal external conditions. Stoic wisdom also reminds us that progress is made through small steps. It's not about solving everything at once, but about doing what is possible today, in the present. because the present is the only moment over which we have control. Instead of getting lost in worries about the future or regrets from the past, ask yourself, what can I do now that will contribute to my growth and well-being? By cultivating this habit of mindful action, you will begin to see that time need not be an enemy to be defeated, but an ally to be embraced. Turning procrastination into action is like a mindset shift. Instead of viewing time as pressure or a race against the clock, start to see it as an opportunity. Each minute is a new chance to do something that brings you closer to your goals and dreams. Stoicism teaches us not to waste this opportunity by waiting for a magical motivation or perfect circumstances. The secret is to begin, even if it's with a small action. Because the power of now lies precisely in this, in the fact that each action in the present creates an effect on the future. And when you look back, what will be more satisfying? Letting opportunities slip away or seizing every second, even with the difficulties and imperfections along the way. Stoic philosophy teaches us that we don't need to wait for an idealized version of ourselves or our circumstances. What we have is the present, and it is in the present that we must act. So pause and reflect. What can you do today that in the future you will thank yourself for starting now? Because time, as we know, waits for no one. And the best way to respect this gift is by doing our best with it without delay. Death is an inevitable part of life and paradoxically one of the greatest sources of wisdom. Stoic philosophy teaches us to contemplate our mortality as a way to value life. Seneca said, "Life is not short, but it is long enough if we make good use of it." By accepting the finiteness of time, we find motivation to live fully, to love intensely, and to cherish each moment as if it were the last. Death for many is an uncomfortable topic, something we prefer to avoid or set aside. But Stoicism, with its clear and objective view of reality, invites us to face mortality head-on, not as something dark, but as a powerful source of clarity. The fact that life has an end reminds us at every moment that time is our most precious resource. When we reflect on death, we are not being morbid. We are, in fact, awakening to the value of each second. Seneca was right. Life is long enough if we live it consciously and intentionally. And this awakening leads us to truly enjoy every moment. Think about it. If today were your last day, what would change in the way you live? Who would you spend your time with? What would you say to the people you love? These questions are powerful because they bring us back to the present, to the here and now. Stoic philosophy teaches us that by contemplating death, we are in truth learning to live. It pulls us out of distractions and pushes us to focus on what truly matters. All we really have is the present, and it is this present that defines the quality of our existence. When we accept our finiteness, we stop delaying meaningful moments and start living them with more presence and intensity. And it's not just about enjoying the big moments. Stoicism reminds us that life is made up of small moments, and each one has value. Simple conversations, spontaneous smiles, silent moments beside loved ones. All of this is part of the grand mosaic of our existence. Realizing that death is inevitable, we learn not to waste these little treasures. Awareness of our mortality frees us from procrastination and inertia. It gives us the courage to live fully, to be true to ourselves, and to seek what truly matters. Memento mori, remember you will die, is not a reminder of sadness, but of urgency. Urgency to live authentically, not to leave for tomorrow what can be done today. The time we spend worrying about trivialities or feeling anxious about the future is time that won't return. And by accepting this, we find the freedom to focus on the present and live more intensely. Because in the end, death is not to be feared, but understood as part of nature. It is what gives life value. And this understanding empowers us to act now, to pursue our dreams, to love without restraint, and to live with purpose. Contemplating death, paradoxically, helps us find more life in each day. It encourages us to set aside what isn't important, to forgive faster, to embrace moments of joy with total surrender. The finiteness of time gives us a new perspective, that the present is all we have. So rather than fearing death, we should use it as a guide for a fuller life. Every day we live is a unique chance, and by accepting our mortality, we find the true motivation to live each of these days as if it were the last. Throughout this video, we explored the importance of valuing time and how it shapes our lives. From realizing that time seems to speed up as the years pass, to understanding it as a great teacher, imparting lessons that we cannot always predict or control. Stoic philosophy encourages us to reflect on what we can do with the time we have, recognizing that certain situations are beyond our control, yet our reactions are always within our hands. We also saw how time offers us the chance for introspection, to look inward and learn from our own experiences. The impermanence of life is one of the most fundamental truths, and by accepting it, we can live with greater presence and intensity. Time is crucial in our relationships, and each moment shared with those we love is valuable and irreplaceable. Procrastination, a challenge we all face, is countered by conscious action, reminding us that time waits for no one. And finally, in contemplating our own mortality, we find not fear, but wisdom and motivation to live fully, savoring each moment as if it were our last. Now, I want to hear from you. In what situation in your life have you used or failed to use time to your advantage? Share your story in the comments. Let's create a community where we can learn from one another and grow together. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, subscribe now and turn on notifications so you don't miss upcoming videos. We have incredible content coming, and I want you to be part of this journey of self-discovery and personal growth. Also, leave your like to help the channel grow and reach more people who need to hear this message. And if you enjoy relaxing music for your moments of reflection, come check out the Pure Harmony channel. There, you'll find perfect soundtracks to elevate your journey of self-discovery and bring about a profound state of peace and balance. Each video is crafted to guide you through a complete relaxation experience, helping relieve stress and harmonize mind and body. The link will be in the description of this video. Don't miss the opportunity to turn your moments of rest into something special. Subscribe to Pure Harmony and let the music lead your mind to a new level of serenity. See you in the next video.